All right, everybody. So for those who are joining on the replay, we were just talking about I've got a cold, a little bit of a cold coming on in the little holding area there. Corey's telling me to get Vicks on my nose, throat, chest, and everywhere. Someone was saying yogurt. Steve was saying yogurt. I've not got. You know what? I've not got that crazy ass sore throat like razor blade feeling that you normally get. I had that a couple of days ago. Smashed a load of Vicks First Defence in. That's gone. I just feel like I've got, I don't know, kind of like blocked nose, but not in my nostrils, just up here, sinuses. And my hearing was going a bit this morning, was going a little bit deaf. Dairy is the worst you can have, says Vanny. Steve, why are you telling me to have yogurt, man? Maybe if you've got a sore throat, that would be good. And Dawn wants me to have a hot toddy. Definitely, Dawn. I love it. I'm half Scottish, love a bit of whiskey. So good evening, everybody. Good afternoon to you boys in America. We've got Tony in from Chicago. We've got Rich from a hurricane-threatened Florida. Lock yourselves down, Rich. Stay safe, man. And everybody who is watching on the replay, massively appreciate you. If you're listening on the audio experience as well, massively appreciate you for listening as well. And tonight, as always, on Wednesday night, it's the book club. And we're looking at a great book. This book I've got behind me here this month. This is the book for September. It's by Jen Sincero, and it's called You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. We looked at 2 chapters of it so far this month. We're going to look at another chapter tonight. We're looking at chapter 6. If you've got this book and you want to read along, if you hate reading and you just can't be arsed, don't worry. I'm going to read it for you. That's the whole point in this book club. Basically, I set myself a goal a couple of years ago to read 20 books a year. I thought, how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to basically do it in front of everybody else so that not only I read them, but you guys read them as well. If you've ever got any ideas or suggestions for book clubs, the book club's book, tweet me at on this TV, at Ross A. Grants. Been reading to this myself. Somebody said as the comment faded away, couldn't catch the username there, but awesome. I recommend everyone should buy it, seriously. It's good. Jen Sincero, best-selling author, great success coach, no nonsense, basically, no bullshits. It was 10 quid, it says on the back of the book, but I'm sure I paid less than that on Amazon. I'm sure it's about £6.99, something like that. Evan, not Ewan. I can't read, Evan. And it's free on YouTube, says Fanny. Fanny is brilliant at finding things for free online. Basically, I buy a book for the book club nearly every month. Fanny will then post a link in the Facebook group within 2 or 3 minutes going, here's a PDF of that book for free. Don't know what part of underground network of free books you belong to, Fanny, but good on you. Got to be resourceful, she says. This is a picture of Jen. She looks a little bit badass there. But she's not like, she looks a little bit kind of like scary there, to be honest, but she's all right. She's seems like a very nice woman, and everyone should follow her on social media. She's always putting decent kind of stuff out there. And tonight I want to look at chapter 6. And chapter 6, don't get turned off by this, right? Because I don't like airy fairy stuff and all kind of just think everything's positive and it's going to be positive. That's not what we do on these broadcasts. We look at kind of like the science of success, and I very often kind of need scientific evidence for things to work. That's how I operate. Last week was a bit of a one-off. We started talking a little bit about higher energy sources in the universe last week. We never normally go in for that. But this book is based a little bit on that, but with a more realistic edge to it. And this chapter is titled Love the One You Is. Sounds a bit like Ali G. You boys in America might not know who that is, but he's a little bit like that. Love the one you is, yeah? But I'm guessing it just means a bit Yoda speak, innit? Love who you are, ultimately. He says, if we really love ourselves, everything in our life works. And that was a quote by someone called Louise Hay, who was an author, publisher, and the godmother of self-help, according to Jen, who was doing it way back when it still wasn't cool. I guess self-help and personal development has become way cooler, hasn't it? And it just become like way cooler to kind of like invest in yourself over the last few years. When I was much younger, no one was doing it. And it's really been something over the last decade that's changed my life. It's definitely, more of an acceptable and less crazy thing to do these days. This chapter is 10 pages long. Gonna read it you now. Is everyone ready, basically? Are you tucked in? Are you ready? Let me know. Give me some hearts on Periscope. Give me some comments on Facebook. And if you would do me a massive favour and just retweet this if you're watching on Periscope or on Twitter, and the same on Facebook, if you would share it would mean the world to me. People are saying someone's dead. I don't think Jen Sincero's dead. She wasn't dead this week when I last checked, unless something crazy's happened. I don't think it. We're talking about Jen. Funny. I don't know who people were talking. Louise Hay. Oh, Louise Hay. Hay, yeah, Louise Hay. So must have been the godmother of personal development. I'm guessing she was one of the first. You know, people like Jim Rohn and stuff like that, Zig Ziglar, massive, you know, into personal development. They were kind of like the people leading it way back. We'll do a bit of research on Louise Hay, see if she's got anything cool out there online to offer, even though she's not here anymore. I'm sure we can still get hold of her stuff. So this chapter starts off, guys, right? It says, Jill's here as well on Facebook. All right, Jill. And she's making fudge as she watches. Amazing. Well, share some of that out. So Jen starts off saying, look, I was hanging out at my brother Bobby's house one day, lying on the couch. By the way, I'm looking down here and reading my iPad. I'm not reading the book, but I'm going to mean my eyes are kind of off screen a little bit for a while. So I was around my brother Bobby's house, lying on the couch, watching his then 2-year-old son waddle around. At one point, someone knocked something off the coffee table, and my little nephew bent down to pick it up. Bobby turned to me and said, did you see that? That guy knows exactly how it's done. He bends at the knees, keeps his back straight, hips squared, stomach tight, flawless. This is his little 2-year-old son. Thrilled to have such a willing and skilled Exhibit A, Bobby then proceeded to spend the next couple of minutes dropping more things on the floor, a spoon, a TV remote, an empty can of beer, and my nephew in perfect form continued to pick it all up as my brother kept a running commentary on his posture, muscle usage, seriousness of manner, and the fact that my nephew was pulling it all off with great dignity, even though his diaper was sagging. It's incredible. The kid could flip over a car without straining his back. It says Bobby. He goes, I can barely pull up my pants without having to be rushed to hospital. And Jenna says, when we're born, we have an instinctual understanding of some of the most important basics of life, and that includes and goes way beyond bending at our knees instead of our lower backs to pick up a beer can off the floor. Okay, we're born knowing how to trust our instincts, how to breathe deeply, how to eat only when we're hungry, how to not care about what anyone thinks of our singing voices, our dance moves, or our hairdo. We know how to play, create, and love without holding back. Then, as we grow and we learn from the people around us, we replace many of these primal understandings with negative, false beliefs, fear, shame, and self-doubt. And then we wind up in an emotional and physical pain. Then we either numb our pain with drugs, sex, booze, TV, Cheetos, etc., or we settle for mediocrity, okay? Or, on the other hand, we rise to the occasion, remember how truly mighty we are, and set out to relearn everything we knew at the beginning all over again. It's like we're born with a big bag of money, more than enough to find and fund any of our dreams. And instead of following our instincts and our hearts, we invest in what other people believe we should invest in. Some people invest in believing they're too old to go out clubbing when they love nothing more than to boogie. Some invest in being... Oh, what am I doing here? Whew, nearly pressed the wrong button on my iPad. Some invest in being too cool for school when all they want is love and connection. Some invest in being ashamed of their sexuality instead of being their gloriously gay selves. As we continue to buy into these things that aren't even true for us, our inner fortunes dwindle away, and it isn't until we reconnect with who we truly are and start investing in what's true for us that we start to live rich, fulfilling, authentic lives. So it's another way to kind of look at the way limiting beliefs are formed, guys, and it is true. I saw a clip of a little kid today on Ellen. Has anyone seen it? This really cute kid. He can't sing for toffee, bless him, but he's only about 3, so he's not going to. But he loves Bruno Mars, and he sings these Bruno Mars songs with such like passion and kind of commitment, and you can barely hear a word that he's saying, but he's amazing, and he doesn't give a shit. He's on Ellen. Half of America is watching him. Whereas if that was, me, God, and they were like, right, you go and stand on Ellen and sing Bruno Mars, I need a few vodka Red Bulls or something like that, to be honest. But as kids, we just kind of roll with it, don't we? We don't care what we look like, what we're wearing, what we sound like. Caroline says, I wish I was more like that. Kelly's here from LA as well. But yeah, it's like, you know what, as we're kind of born with everything we need. And then as we grow up, we kind of forget it. And then it's about time, we end up having to relearn, all that stuff again. Fanny says, I hate not being a character anymore, like as a child. Well, yeah, we just kind of like, if you're not careful, I think it happens for everybody when you're not conscious of it, you just let life beat all that stuff out of you. So that's what we're going to be looking at tonight, ultimately relearning that stuff. So Jen carries on, she says, listen, and while there are countless ways that we rip ourselves off, I've missed a bit. I've actually missed a bit. Let me go back a little bit. Oh, no, I haven't. And while he says, and while there are countless ways that we rip ourselves off, there's one way in particular that is without a doubt the most rampant and the most devastating of all, okay? We invest everything we've got in believing that we're not good enough. And I know there's elements of this that creep into my life all the time that I have to kind of in certain areas. So, for instance, right, get a call off a friend yesterday. He's like, listen, my girlfriend is doing this. She's like a singer dancer. She's doing this salsa class on Friday night. And like to support her class, I think she's doing the class. She wants people to go along. He's like, mate, you've got to come with me. Instantly, I'm like, I ain't ever salsa danced before. I don't know if I've got that Latino, that kind of rhythm. And instantly, in my head, the little negative wolf in my head goes, you're not a dancer. You're not, you haven't got that kind of ability. You're just going to look stupid in front of everybody. And then instantly, I have to just go, shut the fuck up. And then text my mate back going, yeah, I'm in. And now I'm doing it. So it's like, you only regret the things you don't do, don't you? But instantly, and even being incredibly self-aware, I still heard that voice in my head that was like, you're not good enough to do that. What are you doing? But I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. You know what? It's just 60 minutes of my life. And if it all goes wrong, who gives a shit? It really, really doesn't matter. But there'll be a lot of people who would literally just go, kibosh it straight away, instantly. No, that isn't for me. Not doing it. And that's the thing that really kind of really is the most devastating of all, and the most rampant self-doubt, the most rampant kind of limiting belief about us is that we're just not good enough. So we're going to look at 9 ways tonight to basically prove to yourself that you are. Caroline says she went once, it was all right. And Steve does pole dancing. I don't believe you do pole dancing, Steve, but if you do, I'd love you to post a video on the Facebook group because I'm pretty sure you're winding me up. So Jen then says, we arrive here literally in the world as babies, as perfect little bundles of joy. And then we set about the task of learning to unlove ourselves. So how unbelievably ridiculous is that? Self-love, the simplest yet most powerful thing ever, flies right out the window when we start taking in outside information. And you might have done this in your life, your acting career, in various past experiences of yours that, haven't had a positive outcome. And you begin, for one reason or another, to just begin kind of like, just falling out with yourself. Feeling guilty about things, resenting yourself for things, beating yourself up when you feel you've messed up or you weren't good enough or you weren't this, that, and the other. And it compounds over time until eventually you're kind of beaten into that corner of where you don't feel good enough for very much. Good evening, Kim. I can see Kim and Franny is on Facebook as well. So Jen then says, look, I'm not talking about conceit or narcissism in terms of self-love, because that can be, that's ridiculous as well. It's just, I see very narcissistic people on social media now and again, because those things also come from fear and lack of self-love. I'm talking about a deep connection with our highest selves and an unshakable ability to forgive our lowest. I'm talking about loving ourselves enough to let go of guilt, resentment, and criticism and embrace compassion, joy, and gratitude. When we're happy and all in love with ourselves, we can't be bothered with the bullshit of our own or the bullshit of other people. Because I promise you can't, can you? When things are going good in your life and you're happy about stuff and you kind of, you're loving yourself at that point, it's like everything's going all right for me. The niggly little things that normally when you're not in that place, the bullshit that would impact you negatively, you'd probably not even give it a second glance. But when you are resenting yourself or you're guilty about something for one thing or another, or you're not feeling good enough, then those little things that on their own are nothing, can be the catalyst that just, makes you hit that fuck it button and you're like, oh, forget it. Can't be bothered with today. I'm going to go back to bed and we'll start again tomorrow. So Jen says, imagine what our world would look like if everyone loved themselves so much that they weren't threatened by other people's opinions or skin colours or sexual preferences or talents or education or possessions or lack of possessions or religious beliefs or customs or their general tendency to just be whoever the hell they are. Imagine how different your reality would be, and the reality of everyone surrounding you if you woke up every morning certain of your lovability and your critically important role on this planet, which everybody has. And if you poo-pooed shame, guilt, self-doubt, and self-loathing, and allowed yourself to be, do, and have everything your little heart desired, that's the kind of world that I want to live in. In the interest of perpetuating such radical reality-altering self-love, here are some of the best ways to win yourself over again. So give me some hearts. I mean, are you feeling good about yourselves right now? Michael's here on Facebook as well. Good evening, Michael. I was in high dungeon this morning, but I turned it around. High dungeon. I thought you were in a dungeon this morning, Bobby. Turned it around. I had a productive day. You can turn it around. That's the thing. If you literally are feeling shit, so many people will throw away the day. They'll be like, forget it, I'm going to start again tomorrow. You can turn this thing around on a dime. We're going to look at some ways to do that. How are you feeling in general about, if you had to mark yourself right now in terms of like how you're feeling about yourself and life and your career, acting, whatever, just on a whole, what marks would you give yourself? Is life going well? Are you challenged by stuff? Are you, beating things at the moment? Hopefully you're looking at these things as challenges that you can beat, and it's not something that, it's not like a battle or a fight that you're losing. Let me know. It would be interesting to know. I do feel good most of the time, but there is that niggling thing playing on my mind through the day. Having a bad week, so doubting myself. It's all, Evan. It's all like natural, man. It's like this is the time though when things like this that we're talking about really matter. It's really important that you have this self-awareness because you can actually do stuff about it. Today I'm challenged, but feeling 100% sure I'm going to have great success. It's funny. That's amazing. Much better way to flip it. And Steve did say something sincere. Absolutely. Feeling pretty positive at the moment, says Helen. Good evening, Helen. And Kelly needs a maid. Kelly, it's all right. Get a maid. It's fine. Kelly's got 2 crazy dogs that no doubt make keeping things tidy quite difficult. Franny says, in momentum, everything is right as it should be. Kevin's here as well. All right, Kev. Good to see you, man. Kev's one of the most dedicated London members of the Acts on This community, going to the Acts on This meetup when there was only one other person there. Appreciate you, Kev. Thanks for flying the flag, my man. So on a whole, people are. I get it, things are going all right for most people. What we're going to do now, we're going to look at 9 things that I just want you to choose. Maybe just like tell me at the end which ones you're going to choose. Maybe just choose 1. Maybe choose 2 or 3. I think 9. You're probably not going to be able to focus on all 9 this week. But just choose 1, 2, or 3 of these things, ultimately, to get yourself to a place where if you're feeling good, you're going to feel even better. Or if you're currently feeling challenged and you're feeling a little bit in the doldrums, it's going to drag you out of that so you can see the light again. Marcus says, feeling great. Filmed an advert today. Met some amazing people. Feeling fuzzy and warm. You're very positive, though, Michael. I'll never see the guy without a smile on his face. Good way to live. So the first point that Jen talks about in terms of just winning yourself over again is appreciate how special you are. And I know that sounds airy-fairy and a bit, ooh, you're all so special. Listen to this, because she puts it in a much, much, much better way than that. She says, there will never be anyone exactly like you. And we know that. I've said this so many times, that your DNA has never existed on this planet before. This blows my mind every time I talk about it. When you die, your DNA will never, ever, ever exist again. Literally, in this tiny little speck of time, that 100 years you might be on this planet, that DNA is yours. It's literally never existed before and will never exist again. And it's absolutely down to you what you do with it. It really is your choice. Okay, you can't play the victim. It really is your choice of what you do with that DNA that you've been given and what you do with it. So he says, look, there will never be anyone exactly like you. You were given special gifts and talents to share with the world, and everybody was. And even though everybody has special gifts and talents, nobody will use theirs quite the same way as you do. You have a way of being in the world and a perspective that's unique to you. You are the only one who thinks your thoughts the way you think them, and that's so true as well. It's incredible when you think about it. You've created your own unique reality and are living your life according to your own unique path. You are the only you that will ever be. So you are kind of a big deal, and you might not be feeling that right now, but when you actually look at it from a scientific basis of going, holy shit, literally this, what I'm made of here, there's nothing exactly the same as this. It's so unique. The DNA that this comprises of, skin, flesh, blood, whatever, has never existed on this planet before. So it is a big deal. So that's point number one, ultimately, just appreciating that fact. So when you're like, oh, well, I'm just a 5'10", brown-haired, white male, there's 100,000 of us in the acting industry. What's special about me? It's a really shit way of looking at yourself. Okay, you are the only one who can act in the way that you act. You're the only one who can say those lines in quite the same way that you can say them. You're the only one who has had quite that emotional experience of life that you can bring to those parts, that experience that, no one else has had in quite the same way as you. So you are very, very, very unique. Steve said, I'm sorry, Ross, but I need to tell you something. I have skin too. You do, Steve, but if we looked at this on in terms of deoxyribose nucleic acid, or DNA, as it's termed, it will be very different, mate. Definitely. If we looked at our genetic genome, we wouldn't look the same at all, even though we both got skin. So point number two, she says, drown yourself in affirmations. And this is something that I go over quite a bit in the Bulletproof Actor program that I run for actors once or twice a year. So you guys who are going through that at the moment or have been through it will understand this bit. So affirmations, or something called incantations, with the focus being on the word can within that. But let's have a listen to this. And again, it might sound a bit woo-woo and airy-fairy, but there's a lot of science behind this. So she says, trust me, I wouldn't do this to you unless I had to, but affirmations work. You don't have to say them in the mirror. You don't have to hug yourself or buy a special rainbow journal with a lock on it to write them down. But if you want to turn the ship around, you need to rewire your brain and train it to think differently. And this is literally what you can do, literally on a neural pathway level, a physiological level. You can make new connections in your brain by doing exercises like this with affirmations and incantations. So what is it? Let's have a look. It says, so what is this affirmation? What can they do for you? Well, figure out which affirmations you need to hear the most and repeat them all day long in your head, okay? In the car, while you're walking down the street, pretending to be on the phone. I do that quite a bit, pretend I'm on hands-free. Under your breath, write them on a Post-it note and stick them around your house, on your mirrors, in your refrigerator, in your car. Write down your favourite affirmations 10 times every morning and 10 times every night before you go to bed, and say them out loud. Here are some affirmations specific to self-love. Pick one or two of them that work for you, and pummel yourself with them. So I've got some that are specific to me, and they're not these ones. I'll share mine with you in a minute that I made up myself, that work for me. But this really does work. In terms of state change, if you're not feeling very good, or you're just about to go into an audition and you need a little bit of certainty ramming into your mindset before you go in that everything's going to be all right, affirmations work, man. I know it sounds like so mental and out there, but they really do. So the first one Jen's got there as an example: I deserve and receive massive amounts of love every moment of every day. And you would write that down, or you would put that in your phone in your notes, and you would read it, and you would read it, and you would read it. Another one: I am one with the universe. The universe is awesome, and so am I. Another one: my heart is open. Love pours in and out. I receive all the good that life has to offer me. That's a good one. It's not quite as out there, is it? I am brilliant, bright, and beautiful is another one. And then she's got, I love how tall I am, and I love the size of my ass. I mean, you can make it as personal as you want as well. So I've got a couple in the mornings. I'm walking to the gym. I share these with the Bulletproof Acts a lot, but I'll tell everybody. I have one where I'm walking to the gym and I'm like, literally, I'm like, everywhere, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better and stronger and stronger. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better and stronger and stronger. And I'll, if I'm struggling on a run, I do a long run on a Sunday, and if I'm struggling during my run, I will literally focus on just that affirmation as I'm running, not the pain, not that I want to stop. Nothing else but that. And I might go 2-3 minutes, and all I'm doing is repeating that every day in every way. I'm getting better and better and stronger. And it absolutely changes your state. It's a bit like if you're running and a bit of a power song comes on, if Rocky theme tune comes on or something like that, suddenly you get energy from somewhere. This affects you in a similar way. So another one I have before I go into an audition, literally, as I'm walking from the reception into the room, I'm like, everything I need is within me now, and I have the courage to see it through. Everything I need is within me now, and I have the courage to see it through. And it just makes me feel certain of the outcome, because everything that I do need for that audition is inside of me, and of course I have the courage to see it through. John says, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Yeah, you know what? And people have like really basic ones as well that are like, if I can get through this, I can get through anything. If I can get through this, I can get through anything. If I can get through this, I can get through anything. They can be whatever you want them to be. And, I just made those up for myself, but they work. Seriously, they work. It's almost like you're giving yourself the words you need to hear from somebody else at that time. It's like someone's just almost like, you just need someone to go, listen, it's going to be fine. You're going to smash this. It makes you feel better. You're just giving that word, giving those words to yourself. How cosmic magic says Caroline. What's that about? Bobby's got one. Time to be a badass. It's a good one. Whatever works for you. It's just whatever. It's gonna be so personal. Just anything that that resonates with you. This reminds me of Friends. I am a strong, independent woman, says Michael. I love being me. I say this and it makes me giggle and light up and feel free, says Franny. It's amazing. If you've got any others, share them. Let other people take inspiration from those. She says, whatever, it can be whatever. If none of these work for you that we've read there, come up with something that doesn't make you gag, okay, but that strikes a nerve with you. The more emotion you feel around what you're saying, the more power it will have to bring about positive change. And yes, at the beginning, it may feel like you're lying to yourself, okay, but the truth is, you're living the lie. So the affirmation gets you back to the truth. The current situation you're living is the lie, that you're not good enough, that you can't make it, that you're shit at this, that, and the other, you're not good looking enough, you're not tall enough, you're not thin enough, you're not whatever. That's the lie. So don't be like, oh, well, I couldn't possibly say something positive about myself because I feel like I'm lying or I feel like I'm a weirdo. You're actually more of a weirdo by not doing that and living a life you don't want to be living. Pretty much. So Jen says, this can't just be rattling off nonsense. You have to feel it and want it and get worked up by it in order for it to work. That's why I only really have those two. Every day and every day in every way, I'm getting better and better and stronger and stronger. And I'll say it before I try and lift the heavy, if I'm going for like a personal best in the gym, I'm about to do a bench press or something like that, and I'm going for like a 1 rep max, I'll tell myself that before I attempt it. It doesn't always work because, it's never going to, in the gym, if you're lifting super, super heavy weights, there's going to be a day where it's like, actually, you know what, I've pushed myself to the extreme. But it definitely helps, 7 out of 10 times I'll probably lift that weight because I'll feel more energized, better about it. So that's point number 2, affirmations. Point number 3 of winning yourself back over is do things you love. Do things you love. Did you all see that clip that I put out of Jordan Hogg? If you've not watched Jordan Hogg's interview on actonthis.tv, Jordan Hogg is a BAFTA nominated, didn't quite win, bless him, but BAFTA nominated director. He's nominated for, what did he get? I don't know if it's Evermore for Disney, but he's directed Evermore for Disney, countless episodes of all the soaps, Hollyoaks, Emmerdale, Corrie. He's working on Casualty, I think, at the moment. He's awesome, and he's like, listen, he's got cerebral palsy. He's like, look, I'm a disabled kid from a Victorian seaside town. All my mates work in factories, they all do shit they hate, but somehow, because I wanted it enough, I'm doing the thing that I love. And he's like, I would do it for free, and that's why I've got an agent, so I don't have to, because he would just, he'd just agree to do it for nothing. But you really should be doing the things that you love. Tony Scott, he says, I always repeat, today's going to be a great day. When I first wake up, I got that one from Ross. It's a good one. It's the one thing I do say when I make my bed. Because sometimes I'll be completely honest with you. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I feel like shit. I feel dreadful. I don't want to go to the gym, but I drag my ass out of that bed. I make my bed first thing every morning because it's just a small win, innit? It's like I've actually, tied it up. And I will clap my hands and go, today is going to be a great day. Even if I really don't feel it, it might just lift me 5%, but it's enough for me to just get my ass out to the gym, and then I feel all right after that. So number 3, do things you love. When you constantly deny yourself the people, the food, the things and experiences that make you feel the most alive, that sends a pretty lousy message home. And I completely agree with that. Look at your life and see where you're letting yourself down, okay? If you hear yourself saying things like, I love going out to see live music, I can't remember the last time I did it, then make time. I can't remember the last time I went salsa dancing because I've never done it. I'm doing it this Friday, mental. We're all busy. But it's the people who make enjoying their lives a priority who enjoy their lives. Right now, there are thousands of people all over the world at yoga retreats, overlooking the ocean, dancing their asses off at an outdoor music festival, or whooping it up on a Disney cruise or of their dreams. Really listen to how you speak and pay attention to what you do, and make a conscious effort to increase your joy in whatever capacity you can. It can be anything from spending a weekday afternoon with a great friend to quitting your hateful job to buy in a pair of completely impractical but completely awesome new shoes to go in on a surf vacation in Costa Rica. It's about being proactive and about creating a life you love instead of meekly living the one you think you're stuck with. Give yourself the gift of a joyous life while you're here, among the living. That's something someone posted on Facebook before. Giselle Cullinane, an actress in the Facebook group. She spent a couple of days this weekend with a friend or relative in the intensive care unit in hospital, and that poor man lost his life. And she's like, it just hit home again that, when the end is there, it's really the end. It's just like really the end. That's self-awareness that everybody just needs to have. Like, full stop. Like, you all think at the moment, and I include myself in this, sometimes I'm like, you know what, I feel I've got all the time in the world. I'm 34 years old, I feel like I've got so much time. But you know what? We don't know how much time we got left. And when it is the end, it really is like it. So if there's stuff that you want to do, and you're really not doing it now because you feel you're stuck in this bullshit life that you've been given, you need to change it. You need to step up and take some control back. So Jen says, also, if you're the kind of person who puts everyone else's needs first, start putting yours up front for a bit. Those who are used to you being their personal assistant will still love you, even though they'll be somewhat grouchy about you not waiting on them hand and foot anymore. Buy a new pair of jeans, open a savings account, hire someone to do your dishes, make your kids clean the cat box. You aren't a selfish person for taking care of yourself, just a happier one. Take care of yourself as if you're the most awesome person you've ever met. So think about how much care you've taken of yourself so far this week. It's only Wednesday, but what have you done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? I say this all the time. The best way to be selfless is to very often be selfish, because you've got to fill yourself up. If you are not in a good place, you can't possibly be of use to anybody. It's the same analogy I use in Bulletproof Factor of where the oxygen masks come down on a plane. If you don't grab yours first and put it on, like they tell you to, before you even help your children, then, you're unconscious and you're no good to anybody. And that's life. If you ain't filling yourself up and you're not doing the things for you initially, then you can't be of use to anybody else. So to be selfless, a lot of time, you've got to be selfish. So that's number 3. Number 4, find a replacement. And we'll recap these at the end, by the way. So point number 4, find a replacement. We've gotten so used to our negative knee-jerk reactions to ourselves that we never think to question them. We simply take them as the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But once we become aware of our thought patterns and behaviors, we can consciously change them. So start paying attention. And that's being that observer in your head where you're like, oh, you feel really mad right now, or feel really angry. Why? And then we observe and we go, okay, I know it's because of this. What can we do about it? Instead of reacting, how can we respond in a better way? So what runs through your mind when you look in the mirror, for instance, Jen says? What happens inside you when you see someone totally succeeding at something that you'd love to do, but have never let yourself try? What do you think about and feel when you walk up to a group of really good-looking, successful people? Or when you try your best to pull something off and you fail? Or when you get dumped by someone who is totally awesome and hot? Or when you walk around all day with your fly open? Or when you leave your coffee on the roof of your car and drive off? Or when you let a friend down? Or when you stub your toe on the kitchen table for the 10th time? Or when you forget your dad's birthday? Or when you snap at someone who didn't quite deserve it as harshly as you gave it to them? On all those occasions, notice the verbiage that runs through your mind when you're being the most heinous to yourself, and come up with a new and improved response. And there's a difference, I say it all the time, don't I, between a response and a reaction. A reaction is instinctual and will often get you into trouble because you'll want to get angry, shout something, lash out. A response or a what word does she use there? What did you say? No, just a response, isn't it? Yeah, response. That's only one word. So how you respond and the response that you make in that moment can really impact the rest of your day. Basically, you can get angry about it, or you can just literally count to 3 and go, what is the best way for me to respond to this? Someone cuts me up in my car, I can beep at them and shout them through the window and sit the V's up and all this kind of stuff. Or I can project some positivity on them, go, you know what, maybe they're in a rush because they've just had a phone call, say a family member's in hospital, and it's about, it's like they've got to get there quick, they're about to die. So that's why they were rushing, they didn't see me, they cut me up. I'm just going to project that onto them. I'm not going to get angry about it. Big difference there. So Jen says, for example, if every time you look in the mirror and your first thought is yikes, Make a conscious effort to change it to, hi, gorgeous. Who says what when they look in the mirror? Does anyone say that already? I'm not like that, really, to say, all right, gorgeous. George is here. All right, George, how we doing? Are you driving, Ross? I'm calling the call. I'm not driving, Tony. I've got no peripheral vision. I'm not allowed to drive legally because of my eyesight. If I did, I would definitely be killing people left, right, and centre. I can't walk down the street without kicking children by accident. I mean, like I'm just addicted to it. I just don't see them. Wet floor signs are my absolute enemy. Kicked 2 of those today. I hate them. And some of them are massive yellow things. And I mean, like almost up to chest height. But because my peripheral vision is like looking through a letterbox, I don't even see the massive ones. And then people do even say things like, oh, how did you not see that? And I have to go, oh, clumsy. Really, I'm like, partially sighted, mate. I just, sometimes can't be bothered explaining. But yeah, I trampled this poor child in Argos once. He was crawling on the floor. He must have only been about 3 years old. I stood all over him. And then his mum picked him up off the floor when he screamed and then belted him, saying he was naughty for crawling on the floor. I'd already nearly broken his spine. So yeah, apologies to any people's children that I walk on by accident. So yeah, back to that reaction when you're looking in the mirror. So if you look in the mirror normally, you're like, look in the mirror and start getting a bit more self-love, If you have a complicated relationship with your father, for instance, and you beat yourself up every time you say something awful to him, replace I'm a monster, which you might think about yourself, with, look, I'm just a little bunny working through my issues, and then, of course, apologise to him. If your standard response to screwing something up is, ugh, her royal clumsiness strikes again, then replace it with, what can I learn from this? That's a really big thing in any situation. What good is there right now that I cannot see? What can I learn from this situation? The most important thing is to free yourself from the drama and the conviction that your current version of yourself, free yourself from the drama and the conviction that your current version of yourself, what's that? The most important thing is to free yourself from the drama and conviction that your current version of yourself is the truth. That's the most important thing, is the truth. I couldn't work out what that meant then, is the truth. I don't care if that's easy for you to say. You don't have a nose that makes it look like someone parked a yacht on your face. Because one day, you could see some fancy and famous fashion model with a nose far bigger than yours, is who you decided, what? Jen, I wish you would write things a little bit more with punctuation here. Basically, she's saying, look, if you've got a big nose, and you're like, it's easier for you to say because you haven't got a big nose, then the chances are you're going to see somebody at some point who's classed as beautiful, who's probably got a bigger nose than you. I'm skipping that little bit. I couldn't work out the punctuation. This is how ridiculous we are, she says, though. Do not spend your life clinging to the insulting decisions you've made about yourself, ultimately. Instead, make the conscious choice to replace them with new and improved ones. Okay, so it's being kind to yourself, innit? Just being kind. Some people can be really, really awfully mean to themselves sometimes. And it's not going to put you in a place where you're going to win. So point number 5. People always say Barbara Streisand to me, says Caroline. A bit of a Barbara Streisand lookalike, eh, Caroline? I don't really know what she looks like off the top of my head, to be honest. Point number 5. Ditch the self-deprecating humour. Us Brits are brilliant at this. Tony, I don't know if you get this in the States. Rich, I don't know if you get this in the States, in the UK. We love self-deprecating humour more than anything, really. Incessant self-deprecating humour is for losers. She says, I get it. It can be hilariously funny, and I'm totally guilty of it from time to time. And there's nobody I'd more enjoy backing over with my car than the guy who can't laugh at himself, because that's very true. But I'm talking about the non-stop self-flagellation. The I suck fest, ripping on yourself gets old fast, especially if it's your shtick. So if you're one of those people who falls back on making fun of yourself every hour on the hour, not only are you basically begging people to think you're a loser, but you're begging yourself to think you're a loser. It's like hitting yourself over and over with a crowbar. Why on earth would you do that to your awesome self? So you know what? I've seen people do this who are overweight. This is something I've seen them do all the time. People at parties. There was a girl, anytime she came to a party, the first thing she would do is make massive jokes about her own weight. And it was a defense mechanism to say, look, I know I'm big and I'm going to take the piss out of myself before you can. And it was really, it was kind of like really sad to see. Lots of people spoke about it away from this girl going, isn't it really sad the way that she has to feel she has to do that? Because nobody is going to take the piss out of her. She just did that like before anybody else could. And it's like the people with the caveat of, they really want to sing a song on karaoke or something like that, and they actually, they are actually good. And if they actually got up and went, oh yeah, I'll have a bash at that, it would have much more impact than them getting on the mic and the first thing they say is, listen, I can't really sing. I'm really shit, so I'm sorry about this. And then they begin to sing and people go, yeah, you can sing. Now, one, did you do that for attention? Because so you want everyone to go, oh, you're amazing. Or if you're doing it from a place where you actually are just negative and you don't believe in yourself, you would have had way more impact and more applause if you actually got up and just not said anything. Just went, look, I'm going to give this a bash, guys. Hope you like it. Be way better than just before I do this. It's like when an actor comes into a room. I've seen this in auditions a lot, where they come in and they're about to do a piece and they'll make an excuse before they've even read a word. They'll say, okay, just before I do this, I've got a really bad cold today, so if my voice isn't quite on form, or I sound a bit weird, it's because of that. And it's like, A, I don't think you have, and B, I hadn't noticed anyway, even if you have. If you just hadn't said anything, you've instantly told me you're going to be shit before you've started. So in my head, I'm like, oh, well, she don't believe in herself, then I'm not going to. So yeah, it's, I don't know. There's a place and a time for this. So what you tell yourself on a daily basis is more powerful than you know. All right, seemingly harmless jokes over time turn into seriously destructive beliefs. Our thoughts become our words become our beliefs, and our beliefs become our actions. Our actions become our habits, and our habits become our realities. So if your favourite joke is that you couldn't get a date if you demanded one at gunpoint and you spend every Saturday night alone, then perhaps you should come up with a new one-liner. And most importantly, constantly making fun of yourself is such a cheap way to be funny. Anyone can do it, so push yourself to come up with a new script, your confidence. We humour snobs will thank you when you are more confident. I think that's good. Number 6, let the love in. A lot of people don't because they've been burnt once. Who's been burnt in a relationship and they're like, fuck it, I'm never getting in a relationship again? Every man on the planet is a cheater. Every woman on the planet is a cheater. You create this limiting belief that actually, 3 billion of the opposite sex or the same sex or whatever your preference is are all cheaters. It's not really, is it? You've probably had one guy or girl who was a cheater, 2 guys or girls who were a cheater. Maybe you attract these people, or maybe it was something to do with you, or I don't know what it was. But don't suddenly turn that around and go, right, everybody's going to hurt me. Because it's easy to do that. I've absolutely been in a situation where I'm like, I don't want to go through that again. Maybe I should just not bother. Michael says, it is a bit of a Barbara Streisand comment. Well, Barbara Streisand did and still does all right, so really wouldn't worry. Ross, I can't believe you don't know what she looks like. Michael, I know, man. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just being honest, man. I don't know what Barbara Streisand looks like. I'll definitely Google her and have a look. I'm sure there's something to do with the nose, though, if people are talking about nose and stuff. Bobby says, Tony says, I was single again for 6 years after a bad relationship. Finally in one again. Wish I had sooner. Big nose but beautiful. Big nose Streisand. She's done all right, hasn't she? Maybe it helps her sing. Can take in more air. I'm just going to plug my phone in, guys, because I'm getting low on charge here. Here we go. I've got a little plug here. Let's plug that bad boy in. So yeah, let the love in is point number 6, all right? Receive compliments gracefully. When someone says, oh, you look nice today, or, oh, you look beautiful, or that was really, really good. I love it. I don't mean when they say it to me. I love it when someone just says, thank you. Oh, thank you, that's really kind of you. Like, they take my compliment as opposed to pushing it back, going, no, I don't. No, I don't. It's like, so are you saying I've got a shit judge of whatever it is I've just said to you, or you think I'm lying? Because that's insulting. It's like, well, I won't give you any compliments again then if you're just going to smash them back in my face. When you take a compliment and you go, thank you very much, oh, that's really kind of you, it's great. That's what everybody should do. So you've got to let the love in. So receive compliments gracefully instead of countering with the disclaimer such as, oh, this ratty old thing. Try this instead. Thank you. Period. Okay? Take care of your body too. We... if you're anything like me, run around doing all our busy work with our poor bodies flapping behind us like old windsocks, Jen says. When we're pressed for time, it's often the first thing to get overlooked. I've got 5 meetings today. I'll do my yoga tomorrow and have a power bar for lunch. Meanwhile, during our little journey here on Earth, we need our bodies more than they need us. So say nice things about your body, dress it up and take it out, give it hot sex, luxurious baths, and massages, move it, stretch it, nourish it, hydrate it, pay attention to it. The better our bodies feel, the happier and more productive we are. So you've got to let the love in on a physical level, on an emotional level, on every level, not push it away. If someone says you look good or you performed well, don't call them a liar to their face and go, no, I didn't. Oh, that was shit. Nothing more than that's the biggest turn off in the world. That I found that at drama school a lot. If people did a monologue or something that was really good, and I was like, high five, that was great, and they'd walk off stage and they'd be like, that was shit. I forgot one word. No one cares. No one noticed. We don't know your lines. Stop being a dick, basically. So yeah. Let the love in. Point number 7, don't compare yourself to others. Probably one of the hardest things to do. I get it. Have you ever done something that you're so proud of and feel all on top of the world about until you see that someone else has done something similar that in your mind is better, and all of a sudden you feel sad? Yes, I'm sure say yeah if you've done that. I've done that. I've definitely done that. Definitely done that. Evan said, I didn't like it when people clapped when I made a breakthrough at drama school. Well, just take it, Evan. Take it and go, thanks very much. Thank you. That's all. Yeah, who's done this? Basically, who has been really happy? Maybe you've got a job as an actor. You've smashed an audition. You've got the job. And then you see some other bastard's got a better job than you in your eyes. You're like, oh, that would have been better. I thought I was doing so great, and then I've just seen this person get this, and now my job doesn't feel as special as this other person's job. Just being honest, I've definitely done that, I've absolutely done that. I don't like it when people clap in acting class full stop, says Caroline. Everyone just feels they have to, don't they? Maybe that's a British thing as well. Someone's finished a performance, give them a little clap. Thanks very much. But yeah, comparison is the fastest way to take all the fun out of life. It's full stop, it just is. It's none of your business what other people are doing. All that matters is that you're enjoying yourself and pleased with what you're creating. It's precisely your uniqueness that makes you awesome. So deciding that someone else's uniqueness is better than your own isn't exactly being your own best buddy about things, is it? Can you imagine what our world would look like if our biggest heroes succumbed to the perils of comparison? If Marilyn Monroe compared herself to Kate Moss and decided she needed to lose her curves, or if the guys in Led Zeppelin compared themselves to Mozart, dude, that guy's huge, way huger than we'll ever be, and he doesn't even have a drummer. I think we should get rid of ours and maybe add some harps while we're at it. Led Zeppelin were never going to say that. You are more than enough. Avoid comparison like the plague. Comparison is like just going to compare and despair, innit? You're just going to kill yourself. Well, your career anyway, and like your soul, not literally yourself, I hope. But yeah, comparison's bullshit. Number 8, forgive yourself. Listen up, this one's extremely important, right? You have screwed up in the past. Of course you have. You've made mistakes. Most people probably made a mistake today. I'm sure I've made some mistakes today if I went back and had a look at, some of the things that I've done. Yeah, definitely made a mistake today. I uploaded Monday night's Motivation and Mind Hacks live broadcast. I uploaded the audio to iTunes with 30 minutes of it missing. I only uploaded 50 minutes. It was an hour and 20. I don't know how it happened, but I made a mistake. I then had to re-edit it, take it down, and re-upload it. Didn't beat myself up about it, because what's the point? I've done it. I'm probably going to make another mistake tomorrow or later on today. Not going to focus on it. So yes, you have screwed up in the past. You will screw up again. Every human is born with the ability to make spectacular mistakes. Okay, you are not alone. Screwing up is not your special skill. Right, so get over it. Dragging around guilt and self-criticism is beyond unhealthy. And it's utterly pointless, not to mention boring. You aren't a better person for feeling guilty or bad about yourself. You're just a sadder one. So get clear on this one truth now. Guilt, shame, and self-criticism are some of the most destructive forces in your life, which is why forgiving yourself is one of the most powerful. Okay, here's an excellent way to do it. Think of a specific thing that you did that you feel badly about. Call it up in your mind right now. Everyone can do this, okay? Call that thing up in your mind that you feel guilty or you feel bad about, okay? Call it up in your mind and feel it in your body, okay? Repeat the following over and over while thinking of it and really feel when you're what you're saying to yourself, okay? And this is what you're saying to yourself. Holding on to my bad feelings about this is doing nothing but harming me and everyone else and preventing me from enjoying my life fully. I am an awesome person. I choose to enjoy my life. I choose to let this go. Do a similar exercise in Bulletproof Factor where I literally get people to call up whatever bullshit that they're still stuck on, a relationship that ended 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago, still screws them up today. And I'm like, literally, I want you to say out loud, I give myself permission to let this go. And you can write that down. I give myself permission to let this go. And it's almost like you can breathe a sigh of relief afterwards. You've got to say it. Because if you don't, and you hold on to it, then it's just going to beat you time and time and time again. You could hold on to it for 70 years and then go, that was pointless, wasn't it? Just shouted it out loud, says Fanny. Shout it out. I give myself permission to let this go. So read Jen's again. Holding on to my bad feelings about this is doing nothing but harming me and everyone else and preventing me from enjoying my life fully. I am an awesome person. I choose to enjoy my life. I choose to let this go. And it's like closing that chapter on the bullshit and opening a new one that you're going to write from right now. Repeat this until you feel a sense of freedom and lightness around your issue. It may take a day or a week or several months, or it could happen right away. But however long it takes, do it, because if you want to be free, you have to put in the time. And if you need to apologize to someone, pick up the phone. I think that's really important as well. And then point number 9, very, very simple, and it's one thing. Love yourself. Because it's the holy grail of happiness. So to recap the 9 points, to ultimately like yourself a bit more, get over the shit that's been holding you back and let yourself off. 9, we'll go 9 to 1. Love yourself was number 9. Number 8, forgive yourself. Okay. Number 7, don't compare yourself to others. Number 6, let the love in, stop repelling it. Number 5, ditch the self-deprecating humor. If you feel you're a bit overweight, ditch the fat jokes, get in the gym instead. Love yourself, feel better about yourself, look after your body ultimately. 4, find a replacement, and that's a replacement for that instinctual place that you go to every time something goes wrong in your life or whatever. Replace the way you frame that and the label you put on it. Any negative outcomes, replace the label of a negative outcome with actually a gift, going, what can I learn from that? You've got to replace the negative stuff with, put a spin on it that's going to be way more empowering. So that's find a replacement was number 4. Number 3, do things you love. Ultimately, do things you love. Even if it's just literally going for a coffee with a friend this week, chilling out for an hour, going on a bike ride, going on a walk. Doesn't have to cost money. People are like, I can't do anything I love because I've got no money. Bullshit. Some of the best things that I do in my life are free. 2, drown yourself in affirmations, incantations. Remember, every day in every way, I'm getting better and better and stronger. Everything I need is within me now, and I have the courage to see it through. I can just rattle those off because I say them so often, and you'll get the same way if you choose your own and write them down and practice them every day. And then appreciate how special you are. Going back to that DNA point, your DNA has never existed before, will never exist again. It is truly yours. Your body is the only thing that you really own. It's the only thing that you will ever truly own. I can come and take your house off you, and I can take your car off you, and I can take any. You know what? God, you could have everything. You could have your pets and your kids taken off you. I can't take your body off you. It's the only thing that you truly, truly own. Look after it, and realize how special it is and how unique it is, and use it to bring that uniqueness to your performance as an actor, to life, to relationships, to everything. So yeah, they're the 9 points basically. That's chapter 6 of Jen's book, You Are a Badass. How to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life. Would recommend it, honestly. It's an easy read, isn't it? Those on the audio experience, when you're listening to me read this, I bet some of it sounds like I'm not reading it because it's well written. It is an easy read. If you don't like reading, this is a good book to read because it's very easy. Definitely. Taking kids away, Ross, Jeremy, Kyle. No, I'm not going to come in. I've got your kids down. It's like Alan Partridge. I've got your kids down. I'm not really. No, but it is true that your body is seriously the only thing you will ever truly own. So take care of that. So that's chapter 6 for this week. We're going to look at, I don't know, could be chapter 7 next week, chapter 8, 9, 10. I have no idea. I literally choose it about an hour before the book club. I read it, and then I'm ready to read it to you guys. So let me know what you think of the book. Are you enjoying it? If you've missed weeks 1 and 2 on this book, get yourself over to actonthis.tv. Look in the book club section, and you can watch all of them. I've got 209 other broadcasts like this on actonthis.tv that you can catch up on, or go to simply youtube.com/actonthistv, subscribe, and you'll get a notification of every time I upload the replay. But come and watch live anyway. It's miles better when you're here live than just on the replay. Send me your tweets if you are watching the replay, though, at actonthistv, at Ross A. Grant. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know any suggestions for future book clubs. Michael says, I have bought it, 99p, Amazon for Kindle. How can you argue with that, Michael? Exactly. I bought it on Amazon Kindle, then I bought the paperback, then I realised I actually enjoyed reading the Amazon Kindle version better because the text is bigger, better for my eyes. So yeah, you can even get the Kindle version for 99p, guys. I mean, bloody hell, that's a bargain. Definitely. But yeah, if you've got any cool suggestions. I wonder how many I've listened to. I've been here since November. Must be loads. The podcast version of this gets around 5,000 downloads a week. Now, I don't know who those people are. I get a lot of people tweeting me randomly, and it's lovely when I see new faces. I'm like, wow, I didn't know you were listening or where you were listening from. There's been people from all around the world who've tweeted me, which is nice. But yeah, there's 5,000. Show yourselves a bit more, guys. Let me know where you're viewing from. Come and join us live next time. That would be awesome. Definitely every Monday night, 9 p.m. UK time, every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. UK time, and join the Facebook group as well, facebook.com/groups/@on this TV, and then the main website. It's not just a Facebook group, or it's not just these broadcasts. It's actually Acts on This. The whole thing is a big main website, actonthis.tv, where you will find literally hundreds of hours of this kind of material, as well as interviews with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, producers, writers in the industry. Got some great people coming up. Dawn says, have a great day on the cobbles tomorrow. Yeah, doing Coronation Street tomorrow. Got my scripts here. Welcome to Coronation Street. Going to be learning my lines in a minute. Couple of great scenes tomorrow, actually, with some really good people in the street who I really like. So yeah, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, they can write me in for a little bit longer than I'm currently in for. But I just had a call off the second assistant director. It's one of the most lovely call time calls ever. Such a nice guy. Really, really nice guy. I was like, listen, he said he's on a night shoot tonight. He said he got finished on a night shoot last night at Gone 12. Tonight, hopefully they finished around about 11. And he was saying how he's got a headache because of all the coffee he'd been having today. I was like, I'm addicted to it as well. He's like, well, you're one of us now. He says, there's a coffee machine here. You can get unlimited lattes on tap. I was like, brilliant. When I finish my scenes, I'm just going to stay. But yeah, it's good. Tell Dean Fagan, Evan says hello. He's an old uni mate. Yeah, he's good. Good guy, Dean. I don't know him, but he was at, I don't know if he did David Johnson's classes here in Manchester. I think that's where I've seen him a couple of times. But yeah, he's in it full time now, isn't he? Which is good. I once got a call time that opened with "Darling, how are you?" says Bobby. Yeah, this guy was very darling, was very theatrical. Kind of like that sometimes, though. I'm not a very darling, lovey person myself, but I quite like being entertained by those who are. Just very eccentric people. You get a lot of them in TV, don't you? In theatre, it's good. I like it. And Fanny loves lovies. Loves the lovies. Yeah, I don't do. I always fall foul of this lovey thing. You know, where you have to go, you do 2 kisses. I never do that. Just a bloke, and normally just, you know, you give someone a bit of a hug and a kiss, and then they go for this other one. And I've already kind of pulled away by that point. It all gets very awkward. But that's a very lovely theatrical thing to do that I always get wrong, basically. Caroline doesn't like fake lovies. Oh no, they've got to be innately eccentric, Caroline. I mean, like, where it's part of them. It's not just like a show where like they're lovey in front of people and then they're not, you know, in other situations. When she heard my dad was able to drop me in, she said, "Good on, Daddy," says Bobby. All the crazy comments coming out tonight. But yeah, I'll let you know how Corrie goes, basically. That's going to be pretty good. I'll let you know how salsa dancing goes on Friday night. Anyone before we go? Anyone done salsa? I don't know if I've got any rhythm. Is it difficult to pick up, or is it something that a beginner can do? I hated contemporary dance at uni because I just struggled with it when I was at drama school. Literally, give me 3 double vodka Red Bulls and I can moonwalk the shit out of anything. I just can't do proper stuff. Please, can you do a live salsa video? This is funny. I don't know. You know what? Maybe. Who knows? I might try. give it a go. Absolutely. I will maybe go live. I'll just put my phone in the cut. No, it'd be a bit. Do you know what? Maybe I just should do it. Definitely. No, it's easy to try and lots of fun, says Carrie May. All right, Carrie May, how you doing? And Dawn says it's not difficult. Well, you know what? If it is difficult now, I'm going to feel even more inept. Because I'm like, Dawn said it wasn't difficult, and Carrie May said it was easy. I'll be on Strictly Come Dancing at some point. But yeah, maybe I'll broadcast live, guys. So thank you. Appreciate you being here. Massively appreciate if you've been on the audio experience and you've come all this way. If you are listening on the audio experience and you've never tweeted me before, please pick up your phone and tweet me at Ross A. Grant, at ActOnThisTV. Before we go, anyone who's not retweeted this as well, give it a retweet, because then it could get out to more people who maybe haven't seen it and they can still watch the replay, which is cool. Or if you're on Facebook right now, I would massively appreciate a share. Hugely appreciate if you just shared the video out, and we can try and reach some people who may have never seen it before. The R in Ross stands for rhythm, says Bobby. I am very rhythmic, Bobby. Definitely. Thank you, the Fox What. That's Evan. Thank you for retweeting this on Twitter. Appreciate that. Anybody else want to retweet it before I go? Or no one want to retweet it? I'll queue up actually ending the video on Facebook. I always leave this, don't I? It's the last minute and I always get it wrong. Anyone else got any final words before we go? Anything to report? Any auditions for you this week? Oh, Dawn, good luck with the agent meetings tomorrow. Dawn's got a meeting with 2 great agents tomorrow. And they are really good agents, both of them, Dawn. It's a win if you get with either of them. Don't go with just the first one, though. If the first one goes, yeah, we'll have you. Don't go, oh, yeah, brilliant, I'm in. Hang in there. They won't make you make a decision on the spot anyway. The protocol with agents is they'll generally say, okay, it's cool. Have a think about it and let us know in a week. And then you can be honest and upfront. Say, listen, I've got meetings with other agents as well. So, I've got to have a think about it, but, let me know. And they might not tell you there. And then they may say, well, we'll have a think about it. And then they'll ring you and go, you can come with us if you decide to. But don't rush into anything. Go with your gut. Your intuition and your heart already knows what it wants. Get out of your mind and into your heart here, and it will know what you want and which decision you want to make. So thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Good luck with that, and keep us posted in the Facebook group with what's going on. I might have time to put out a podcast on iTunes. It's an exclusive, like 5 to Thrive episode on Friday. Keep an eye out for that. If you've not subscribed to the Acts on This TV audio experience, please do. I put stuff out there that doesn't go on anywhere else, basically. So if you go to iTunes, if you've got an Apple device and search for Act on This TV, or if you go to Stitcher.com, search for Act on This TV if you've got an Android or something like that. Subscribe for free. I put 3 to 4 pieces of audio out a week, and some of them are completely exclusive that you won't hear on the website on actonthis.tv. You won't hear on these broadcasts. It's just stuff for the podcast listeners. So if you want to get all of it, get yourself subscribed. Would massively appreciate that. So thank you. Fanny says, go get them, Dawn. You deserve great things, lady. You definitely do. Everyone here does. Remember that. You're all amazing. You're all unique. Go out there. Just do some great shit, basically, because when it's over, it really is over. Thanks, Corey, for watching. Thank you, Steve. Thanks, everybody. Catch up with you soon, all right? Bye for now.